Hello everyone, welcome to the BowTie Breakdown. I'm Garry Morin, the BowTie Guy. Today I'm on the road again. I am at Semper Home Loans here in Warwick with my friend Dan Giroux. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Thanks for letting us stop in today. Dan's with us to tell us about a no income verification loan. But Dan, before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so Daniel Giroux, right, Semper Home Loans. I've been doing this for 22 years.
Okay.
I got out of the Army back in 2000. I was active duty Army.
So an Army man?
Yeah, I was an Army guy. Oh, thank you very much. You know, it was a quick stint. I was young, very, very young. I got hurt when I was over in Korea, and it was just time to get out. So got out, started doing this. Got into mortgage business by accident. You know, I was going to school to be a teacher and kind of got into it, and I really liked it. And just as years went on, here we are, 22 years later.
Have you been with Semper Home Loans the whole time?
About 3.5 years. So I worked for a lot of facets. I've kind of been on all sides of it. I started a company in East Greenwich, Mortgage Pros. That's my original company. I worked for a company, Bankers. Guy Rick, super nice guy. Became an account executive for Washington Mutual. That was a great stint. That's where I was kind of teaching some of the products that we're going to talk about. Are things that I learned back in 2005. So
you got a wealth of knowledge with these loans.
I've been around.
No income verification loan. What does it entail? Can you kind of tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So no income is no income, right?
Self-explanatory there.
Well, not always.
No? Okay.
Not always. I get a lot of questions. Well, this is no income, so they're going to use bank statements, right? Well, not to create income, no. We would use bank statements to show your assets.
Okay.
Right? But it's not an asset depletion, meaning I don't have to show that you have $500,000 and you deplete it down. No, this is a no income. No employment, no income. So your application goes through and you don't list where you work and you don't list what you make, and we don't get W-2s, we don't get tax returns. The property doesn't have to rent roll. So this is an owner-occupied property.
Okay.
You can buy a 1 to 4 family, right? Live in this property, right? You can rent out the other units, but we don't care if you rent out the other units. You could buy a 4 family and you could keep all the units for yourself.
You could live in all 4 if you wanted.
We don't care because, this program doesn't have that guideline like an FHA does, right? FHA says, hey, we got to show income. This one does not. Conventionally, you got to show income. This one does not. Relatively simple on that. And I think a lot of people confuse the owner-occupied no income verification with the investment property. Okay. No income.
So you beat me to a question. I was going to say, is there a difference between the two? Obviously, owner-occupied is the person living there, but what can you kind of establish?
Yeah, so huge difference, right? And I get this a lot too. This one drives me nuts. Just because they're buying a 2-family, 3-family, 4-family, if they're going to live in it, that's not an investment. It's
owner-occupied.
Owner-occupied. Investment is one that you don't live in, right? So that would always...
Nice definition there for folks.
Right? Remember, owner-occupied, non-owner-occupied.
Investment, you don't live in it.
And I get why they call it an investment.
Yep. On the no-income verification, is there a certain credit score that the borrower has to have?
Yeah, so the higher the credit on these, the better, right?
As with, I would assume every loan.
I mean, to give you the fast breakdown, right? They want to see a down payment. It's 20% down. That's on the top level.
Okay.
Because again, this is no income, no employment. This is owner-occupied, 1 to 4 family, and second homes.
So this isn't a loan for maybe like a first-time home buyer?
It is a loan.
It is?
Of course.
Good. I'm glad I asked that question.
Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. It's an easy loan but it's not a loan for a first-time home buyer. When people think of a definition of a first-time home buyer as somebody who needs 100% financing.
Right, and that was kind of where my question was going.
That's an awful thing to think, right? Yep. I think that we have categorized a lot of first-time home buyer as, it's a first-time. There's a lot of first-time home buyers that are in really good situations. They just haven't bought yet. Yep. A first-time home buyer is also somebody who, not for this loan purpose, it doesn't matter, but just definition-wise, first-time home buyer is somebody who hasn't owned a home for 3 years. 1 to 4 family, higher the credit, the better. Yep. Right? We can go as low as a 640 on this program. Okay, so loan's going to go right through. Okay. Right? Loans, these are if you meet what we need you to do, right, which is simple. I need your credit report, right? We need credit score, trade lines. We need your assets, right? Do I have my 20, 30, whatever it may be down? Again, higher credit score. Do I have reserves? Meaning if my payment's $3,000 a month, they require between 12 and 18 months reserves. So mine was $3,000 a month and I needed 12 months reserves, right? I need $36,000 somewhere when I'm done.
That box can be
checked off. That could be in a 401k, that could be, and then that's it. Let's go. Let's start the loan process because it's not an income product. Yep. It's designed to get people into their houses that want to, right? 100% of the down payment can be a gift. Wow. The reserves cannot. Okay. Right? I think we touched on this earlier when we were talking. This is the type of program that in 2004, 2003, 2005, when I used to sell loans back from 2000 on, you had to get Do you have income? Do you have this? You'd run it Fannie, you'd run it Freddie. Nobody was really using VA back then or FHA here and there, right?
Yep.
You'd run it FHA. Well, then all of a sudden they came out with these new programs. The problem was back then I could get this pen alone, right? This pen right here. Hey, do you have a job? Yeah, I write.
Yep.
How much do you make? How much would you like me to write? Again, you know where this is great? Because it goes up to $3 million.
Oh, wow.
Right, it's up to $3 million. So, and again, second homes. I don't know if that one popped out right. Second homes.
Second homes.
People who buy down in Florida, right, who necessarily, maybe they can't show the income on paper. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they own a dispensary.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe they can't use those funds. Right? There's all sorts of things. People have money coming in from different places. But when they're buying second homes, last one on this is good. And most of the time it doesn't pertain to a realtor. But in this case, I think it does. This loan can be used for cash out refi.
Oh, wow.
They can take up to 70% of the equity in their home. They can convert it into cash, right? And where does this pertain to realtors, right? They can take this while their house is way up here, while the value is way up here.
Yep.
They can get this cash. They don't have to show, and again, for somebody who can't show the income, right? We're not looking for the guy that can walk into the bank tomorrow and go,
yep. This is the ones who don't have the
because I have that program too.
Yep.
You know, I have that program.
Exactly.
This is not for that guy. This is for that guy.
That's a different hat.
Different hat, exactly. But this particular one, they can get the cash and then they're using it to buy properties because they feel the market's going to be crashing down.
Oh, okay.
And I got to tell you, guys that have $3, $4, $5 million houses that are free and clear,
yep,
right, who are down in Boca, right, I tend to believe that they understand the market a little bit, right?
Right.
They got millions of dollars fine, and these guys are grabbing. I just had one grab $1.2 million in cash.
And that's just from the equity.
That's from the equity that he had in his house. He couldn't show it. His business is in Ecuador, and there's a lot of things going on with him. But he was able to grab $1.2 million cash, which he's then using to buy investment properties, which we won't get too far into the investment property stuff, but I have that too. You want to buy 1 to 4 family investment properties, no income verification on that. That's a little different. We can talk about that another time.
That's awesome. If you want more information on that, then we got to reach out to Dan direct on that there. So no income verification loan. What an awesome program that is. Can't wait to kind of dig into it a little bit more with my clients. Is this like a higher rate than a normal?
Of course it is.
I kind of figured.
I got to be honest.
As soon as I said the words no income verification, I had a feeling that it would be
it's a specialty. On some of these products, they're higher.
Yeah.
Right? I won't say that there is a discrepancy,
but I think it's worth the trade-off.
There's no MI on them, obviously, because they only go to 80%, right? There's no prepayment penalties on them. They're 30-year fixed loans.
Okay.
Right? So we're not putting somebody in a situation where it's, hey, take this no-income loan and hope you can do something in the next 2 years. These are fixed. And I tell all my clients, don't get into this particular loan thinking the only way I can afford it is if I refinance it. Use it as an opportunity. Yep. I can't buy.
Here and now, this is what I can use to buy.
Exactly. I can't buy because, okay, you can if we have this. And not everybody's going to meet this.
Right.
And most of the time, I'll be honest with you, the clients that I get on this, they're much more affluent clients.
Yep.
These are not Joe and Bob down the road who make $15 an hour at Target and want to do this because you have to have the 20%. You have to, which can be a gift.
Yep.
And you have to have the reserves. Do I think this is a bad idea? No, I don't.
No, not at all. That sounds like an awesome program. So that was No Income Verification Loans with Dan Giroux from Semper Home Loans. I'm Garry Morin, the BowTie Guy. That was another BowTie Breakdown. We'll see you next time.